Hello, viewers, families, friends, people, and friends, and I don't know what else to call you all. But welcome back. I'm here for a part 2 because I forgot to mention a lot of things in my last review. I forgot to talk about the battle damage, so I don't know how that slipped past me. But let's talk about that today, and also because why not? We'll talk about some pros and cons about the figure right now. So, if it's anything I forgot to mention is that he looks like a mecha salamander. He looks like those salamander toys they have at the store. I don't know why. Like his design just speaks salamander to me, or at least like a lizard, like those lizard toys they have. I failed to include this in my last one, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that. Okay, so obviously the gimmick of these figures are the battle damage. Now, this one was pieced together so good that it slipped past me and I forgot to talk about it. But yeah, the main like gimmick, or I don't know if you want to call it gimmick, of these figures, or Kong can die, is that they have battle damage. But on Mechagodzilla here, you can barely see it. So you had like gaps or holes. As you can see with Godzilla, he has a hole here, and the red is noticeable. As for Kong, obviously it's noticeable. You can make out the lining, so yeah. But on Mechagodzilla, it's very hard to tell, but it is a chest wound, just like Godzilla. So I'll go and show that off right now. It comes out real easy, and it comes out real, or I guess you can fly. Here's the inside of the machinery. There it is. So yeah, there it is. It looks like Metal Gear, but I can't really. Well, it just looks like wires, pipes, etc. If you take a look at the battle damage, here's the front. Which is changed on the back. It isn't as detailed, but you have somewhat detail, so that's pretty cool. To put it on, you just have to put it up on the front right up here, and then you just push in the sides. And the best part is that it fits real nicely, so it's not tight like the last ones, which if you guys saw, I spent doing for like 10 or 9 years. But yeah, so let's go over positives. So now we're going to talk about positives and negatives about this figure. First, start out with the positives, because there's a bunch. The box, not much, but for box collectors, it's going to be really good. Blockbuster is the only new thing. If you take a look at the other boxes, that's literally the only thing that's changed. None of the buildings have changed. The back art's still the same. Nothing's changed. So yeah, that's a positive. The art is really nice. The descriptions are cool, and the way the box is set up is real nicely. So for all those who collect boxes, you're welcome to get these. It's gonna be really great on your shelf, believe me. So for one, this is $10, so you're gonna get a lot from this. You can also get the same from the other figures. You're gonna get really nice detail, sculpt, articulation, but those are other factors. But the price, that's gonna be really nice. And if you want to buy a bunch, well, buy a bunch. So if you have like, I don't know, $20, you can use that. And let's see, if you do the math, I'm doing math again. 9 plus 9 is 18, and these figures are $9.84, so maybe it'll be a bit higher, but it'll at least be easy to afford. It isn't just the GVK figures that are $10, all of them are, so it's easy to afford, and you'll at least be able to buy some. And in return, you get some really good looking figures that you would not see all the time, especially at Target, because these aren't Target exclusives. So besides price and range, what else is good about this? Well, as you're seeing here, the sculpt is amazing. For $9 or $10, whichever one it is for you, it's really good detail. You can see they paid attention, they did their homework, and they're staying true to the model, at least from what I know. Now, I'm seeing the movie, so I'll tell you right now how good it looks. Well, not that I've seen it right now, but I'll see it soon, so I'll tell you then how good it looks. And if you put it with your Godzilla, it looks really nice. It's not bad at all. Articulation. You're gonna get a bunch, so I'll go over each one, even though I already did in the last one. Jaw opens up, closes, really nice and wide. The arms can spread out. They can do a full rotation. and they can go up or down. The legs, they can go up, down, depending on where you have them, and they can spread out and do the same range of motion. The knee, you have articulation there as well. The foot is really easy to move, full 360, and the tail is on a ball joint for you to move it however you would like. And the tail is made of rubber. I'm not sure if that'll change anything with your playtime, but hopefully it does. Paint. So paint is really good. You have your grays, and it's not just one gray, there are multiple grays, so you're not just gonna get one. And besides the spines and the eyes, there is some red on the chest here that you can see. So it's not like they just colored it gray, colored their spines red, and said, well, we're done here. They really did attention to their homework as well. Although I would have preferred that, like Godzilla, I don't know if you can see this on camera, but it's noticeable on the foot and some of the body. Nothing on the chest, but you do see that there is some like gray washing. So I wish they could have done that for this figure, but you know what? It's still really good, and if you wanted to, you could do it yourself if you're a really good painter. Accessories. You only get one, but it's still better than nothing. So here it is. You have a heaver. This one is also really good. Very goodly detailed. Kind of hard, so it's not like squishing, you could break it. And it's really nice, and it fits with Mechagodzilla perfectly, seeing as how he's all about mechanics and pistons. He will also stand really well with your other Playmates figures. Albeit, I only have 3. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla, a bunch of Godzillas, and a Kong. So I don't have the full thing, but he really does look good, and the detail. I gotta give a round of applause to Playmates for the detail. It's not just Mechagodzilla, but I surely do love the detail on him. You can see it on Godzilla and Kong as well. Not my repaint though. Besides that, he does scale real nicely. What a funny name. He does scale really nicely with the other Playmates figures. And besides Playmates, he also scales real nicely with some of the NECAs of Godzilla. Kong, maybe. But Kong's a bit big, so you may want to, not have him in a stop motion there. Either way, the design's not perfect. But you can see he scales real nicely. Another pro is that your child won't get damaged on it if you play with it. The claws aren't really sharp or anything. Nothing on this is sharp. It's really hard plastic, and it kind of ends real nicely, and obviously it's not like the jaws will pinch you. The jaws won't pinch you. Maybe the tail, as you can see, there are spaces in here, and when you're moving it, your finger will clamp down on it, but I don't really see that happening unless you're playing with it too hard, but I don't really see that happening. Their pro is that this figure is really durable and strong, so play with it as hard as you want, but maybe not just yet until they start popping out in stores more often and you get a few. But yeah, these are really hard. They're not gonna break. They're not like McDonald's toys or something you find at, I don't know, let's say, I don't know, the dollar store or something. Specifically, the accessory and the figure itself are really hard, so no way you're gonna break these. Talked about the pros, now let's talk about the negatives. It's kind of hard seeing any negatives, but I do have to include some negatives. Now, I was thinking this may have just been an issue on my figure, but judging from other reviews, it's not just mine. The legs are really loose. Either they're loose or the weight on top is too heavy for the legs. Because sometimes you could, I don't know what a good example of this is. You could have them like this, and then the body just shifts over just a bit because of the body weight. So the legs are a bit loose. You just want to be a bit careful with that, especially if you're going like this. That's really loose. It feels very loose. Same for the feet. They may be really good at articulation, but I kind of want them to be a bit hard. For this figure, you are going to have a few spaces that aren't really detailed. I mean, it's a kid's toy, but they went all out with the details, so spaces like this, a few in the spaces over here, some space over here, spaces over here, and then like spaces over here. You're not going to get a lot of detail. Still fine though, and the same detail was applied to each segment of the tail. Second to last con, I don't know if you could tell, but no matter how hard I try, MG's tail just seems to be going this way when I want it to go this way. Maybe that's just mine's actually, but yeah, it's just kind of hard to stay in place, but still fine. Maybe because I don't think it's going to be an issue for everyone. Last con is that you can easily lose the heave, especially if it's a little kid with it. You're going to lose it a lot. But hopefully you don't. I mean, I'm pretty sure many adults are collecting this. But if you are going to collect it, try to be careful of the heave and the battle damage. You can lose those easily, so just stay on the lookout for that. But like a great man once said, there is no good and there is no bad. And even if there is any good, there will be bad. If there's bad, there will be good. So, those are your positives and negatives. So, even if it had a few negatives, even if some of those weren't something I'd say were heavily affecting the figure, I would like to say is that the figure is really great. $10, such great detail, such amazing articulation, and the poses you can get out of this, it's just amazing. Like, if the articulation isn't good, then I don't know what is. The articulation's good, and especially for posing and like stop motions and images, like doing all these things, edits. Oh, it's so amazing. It's really great. I do love it. So I do advise to get this figure, especially if you are a fan of MG. You're not going to be disappointed with this design, and it's going to fit real well on your shelf, especially with your Godzilla. Sorry, I meant Godzuki. So, well, watch out, because Legends will collide with Godzilla and Kong this Wednesday, so in a few days, as the forces of nature clash in a spectacular battle for the ages. Make sure to watch the blockbuster movie Godzilla vs. Kong, and please do enjoy. Anyway, this was the review. Hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you get this figure and watch the movie, and hopefully don't get spoiled. Bye, everyone.